Hello, my name is Sally Pinto, and I'm the Program Director for the Yonkers Newark Neighborhood Naturally Occurring Retirement Community. We serve seniors 60 plus in Northeast Yonkers. We are under the auspices of WJCS and the Yonkers Office for the Aging. We also have a resource specialist and a nurse on staff. We conduct virtual programming in partnership with the Yonkers Public Library on a daily basis. Enjoy the program.
I just wanted everybody to know that there is a volume button on your computer and your phone that you can use to increase your volume. If you are unable to hear me, I'm going to talk at my loudest, but maybe you can't hear me. So first check your equipment to see if it's all, maximized. You can also put some comments in the chat box that will allow me and Sally to address your comments without, interrupting the flow of the class. So welcome to my Zoom yoga class. I'm today doing it on the couch. You can do it from a chair if you like, but be mindful of keeping your spine aligned and not hunched over, sitting upright as best as you can. So namaste. And without further ado, let us dive into meditation today. So you can keep your hands in a mudra like this, your right on top of your left, and your right and left thumb connected. And then just lower your eyes and just notice what's going on with your face, your nose, your hair. Do you have an urge to scratch? And just work through it. I have a deep desire to scratch, but I'm just going to let that pass. It's amazing how we can control our urges by just using our mind to acknowledge that we feel that scratch. We feel that need, but we will let it pass and we will do it once the meditation is over. A lot of COVID was spread by our own fingers, bringing from a touch surface to the nose or the mouth. We can use meditation to control our urges to keep adjusting, scratching, being fidgety. I just noticing our breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Just not judging, just breathing and noticing the inhale and exhale. As soon as we close our eyes, all kinds of thoughts rush to our brain to clog out the pathway that we are aiming to create. Tunnel with the thoughts are all outside the tunnel. And we are able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, but the thoughts, they keep on clogging the tunnel. Meditation is a way to see the light, see the pathway, make that pathway yourself. And so when the thoughts are bombarding your tunnel of vision, kindly acknowledge your thoughts. Be kind to your yourself and say, yes, I know I must wash those dishes that are in the sink, but they can wait for 10 more minutes while I take time for myself and my brain and clear the path. The end of the tunnel, you can see the light, golden and bright, and it's so beautiful out there. You can get there, just have to do it slowly. You can imagine, once you come out of a dark place into a really well-lit area, the sun kind of bathes your body. Your eyes kind of can't take in all that light that's coming. Slowly your eyes get adjusted to that brilliance. All that snow we had, just sparkling with all that light. We have a bird feeder right in front of our breakfast table. Those beautiful cardinals, so red against the snowy background. Eating wine, so restful. When we are watching nature, our thoughts calm down. Just engage with water flowing or snow melting and the sun shining. Breathing and taking it all in. As the thoughts come, we can say, hey, we can deal with that later. 10 minutes of just watching nature without getting disturbed by thoughts. Now, if you notice, your mind is calmed down now. Just a few minutes of focusing on the breathing. You can now take your breath to another level, counting in your mind like a graph, inhaling 1, 2, 3, exhaling 1, 2, 3. Do that in your mind. Inhaling 1, 2, 3. Exhaling 1, 2, 3. Just focusing on the counting and having an equal inhale and equal exhale. If you aren't able to count up to 3 in either one of those, that's okay. Your mind, it's your counting. You that you're doing it for. No test at the end of this meditation class. It's relaxation. Unfortunately, our society is all set up for, I do this, if I don't do this correctly, am I going to be penalized for it? No, there's no penalty here. Just you connecting with yourself. There's no penalty for that. A lot of our thoughts make us guilty that we didn't do something or we didn't do something right. We should have done it this way or that way. Why didn't I say this to that person when they said that to me? These are just your thoughts. You can let them go. Focus on your breath. Connect with yourself. You will find peace within yourself. Now let's increase the inhale to 4. We inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Count in your mind and inhale and exhale for 4 counts. You can now make a sound with the back of your throat as you exhale. Its sound is like a seashell when you put it to your ear, that sound. Inhale. Make that sound in the back of your throat. On that sound, on the exhale, you should feel immense amount of calmness with this kind of breathing. Feel so calm and relaxed, and I hope you do as well. We can now open our eyes and then just take in, the first thing you see, just, an object that you like in your home or something. Just take in the colors. Most amazing thing that after a few minutes of meditation, you can really appreciate colors. Whatever you your eyes fall on, it's like a dying flower actually in my home, and it's still beautiful. So it's just lovely that I can appreciate my eyes and what I'm able to see. So much to be thankful for, and one of that is our vision. So Let's be thankful today for, all the life's bounties, and even the smallest things, uh, and that gives us joy and able to connect with our practice much more. So whatever you are able to do, let us start with some yoga practice. And as usual, we will try to find the center of our head, which is right here. And we feel it pulling up, and then our feet ground it down. So we have two poles, one that's pulling up, and then the south pole pulling us down. So north and south. And let us connect and have our head aligned with our neck, having it just massage your neck a little bit, feeling it, making sure that it is well aligned, and just giving it some love here to our neck and shoulders. This is all part of yoga. Also, self awareness and self care. It is a big part of um, our yogic practice. So just feeling your body, just making sure that your hands, your elbows, everything is nice and relaxed and supple. You know, just bending down and touching the toes, the feet, looking at them. Need a pedicure. Just giving some love to your body and noticing it helps a lot. I noticed my dog always does a beautiful stretch, a nice downward dog the moment she wakes up in the morning, just feeling herself and noticing where she may have some issues, where she's tight. I think it's just a human nature to do it, or I should say, just the animal nature to do it. We should just watch how our body feels. So just take inventory of what you're feeling, and let's start. So take your neck to the left side gently, holding it there, breathing into the stretch here on the right side. Bring it to center and do it on the other side, and feel the stretch on the left side of the muscles of your neck. Feeling it, how you can gently use your hand to stretch it even more, and then use your left hand to stretch right side. It's so good. One more time. Side to side, waking our neck up, and then lowering our eyes and consequently our neck. Breathe into it. Don't overdo any of these movements, and don't do it jerkily. Do it gently, looking up now, and then bringing to center, and then bringing it down. Try to do these movements actually as slow as you possibly can. You're still getting benefits. You're just not causing any damage to the many ligaments and muscles that are in your neck. Very important part of your body. Neck is holding the very important part of your body. The head houses your brain. So take very good care of your neck. And when we are sleeping, we have, you know, we get kind of stiff. And so in the morning, we have to do these things more slowly than we would possibly do if it was afternoon. The afternoon, you could do a little bit faster, but during the morning, you want to do it slowly. You can do your side to side movement, Slowly taking it to the left, bringing it to center, and taking it to the right, bringing it to the center. Center, right, center. You can make funny faces with your face, smiling slightly or making an O, waking up your facial muscles. The muscles of your head. Wake all these muscles up. And then you can do a little tapping of your head, waking up all those important acupressure points on your head. As you all know, I practice acupuncture. I receive and do acupuncture for patients. And very important points for balance and hearing and blood pressure control are all in our head and ears. So pay attention to your ears, just press the outer lobes and just put your index finger and thumb and just massage your ears, just feeling different parts, and you're doing good things for your blood pressure, anxiety, depression by just touching your ears and pressing it at different points, activating some good acupressure points. So now that we have taken care of our head and neck, we're going to do some shoulder rolls. Bring it back. Do it as slowly as you can. I'm going a little faster for some reason. I need to slow down. Bring it back, bringing it forward. And then doing the opposite. Other way around. Clockwise and anti-clockwise. Our shoulder joint is a ball joint, ball and socket joint. And it's a very loosey-goosey joint. It's not like our hip joint, which is also a ball and socket joint, but it is well ensconced. But because we need so much mobility with our shoulders, we do so many things, we lift things, and we don't do that with our legs. We need more mobility, but with more mobility comes more problems. So do things slowly when you're working with your shoulder, and you will see that your love and kindness will help you in the long run. Now taking your right arm and putting your left arm underneath, you can give your shoulder joint a good stretch here. Do the same thing on the other side. Feel the stretch. So nice to feel the stretch. Breathe into it. Now you can stretch out in this way in front, but don't ground your shoulders. Keep your shoulders down. Feel your interscapular muscle. The scapula is a wing-shaped bone in the back of your thorax or your rib cage. And now you can lift it up as high as you possibly can. If you can't go higher than this, that's fine. Just go wherever you can. And then you can pull at your wrist one side and use your other hand to pull the wrist on that side. Just feel the stretch in your upper back and shoulders. With this stretch, and then slowly bring it down, and then just give yourself a shake, and then you feel your body warm up. I'm going to take my shirt off now. It was a little bit cold this morning, so I wore something warm. Now my body is already warmed up with the breathing and with the movements that we've been making, and so I do not need this at this time. So good shoulder movement rolls. Now we're going to wake up our feet. Don't want to forget about our feet. Just, you can see my feet. Point the toes and then pull them up, then point, then pull them up, point, then pull them up. You're exercising lots of good muscles, extensors and flexors of your ankle joint by these movements. Sometimes we forget about our feet. We do so much with our shoulders or our core muscles, and then we don't remember that our ankles and our feet carry us all over the place. I recently took my mother to see a podiatrist. She has diabetes, so if you have diabetes, make sure you see a podiatrist once a year to evaluate for diabetic neuropathy or any kind of problems in sensation loss in your feet. So paying attention to your feet is really important. Now use your hands and just go down as much as you can. Rest your belly on your thigh. Look at your toes and then massage your feet. Just getting in between those joints. There's a really good self-care session of yoga where we are just going to, feel our ankle joints and just even the soles of your feet. If you can get down there that low, you can massage the bottom of your feet, just feeling them. If you're wearing socks, you can still do it with your, on top of your socks. It's going to be so good for you. And then you can just feel your calf muscles and you can bring up. This is actually a yoga mode, where you stand up and be with bending our knees or not bending our knees, depending on how flexible your hamstrings are. You can touch your toes and let your head hang. Again, be mindful that your shoulders are not hunched over, but they are nice and back. That way you are not causing damage to your muscles. Now you can bring yourself up, breathe in, and then breathe out as you're going down to your toes. The relief of doing this movement is amazing. Try it. Your blood pressure does change when you do this movement. So if you feel dizzy, you can stop and to do it 3 times. And then this time when we come up, we are going to put our arms up and in a prayer pose, then bring prayer pose down, touching our forehead, and bringing our hands to the heart where we can feel our sternum with the thumbs. Just feeling our heartbeat and bringing love to our heart, which pumps so much blood from our head to our toes and needs exercise just like any other muscle of our body. I'm so sorry for this cough. I don't have COVID. Myself every week. So we're going to start with now some rotation of the spine. So take your left hand up and just stretch. Feel the stretch on the left side of your body. Right side. Stretch. And you're going to turn right side this way. Do as much as you can or as little as you can. The other side. Eyes you can use to look at your left shoulder. and then bringing to center. Doing it again on left side. You can use your left hand to push on your knee, on the side of your knee, not on your knee, but on the side of your knee, and use your knee to push your hand out. So you're using two opposing movements, and you're going to get a great stretch of your muscles. The same thing on the other side, using this right hand on left knee and looking to left shoulder, pushing with your hand on the side of your leg, and then the leg pushing against the hand. By the simple movement, you can get added benefit. Bring it back to the center. Now we are going to do a movement that opens up our hip joint in this diamond shape. This is called Baddha Konasana. Baddha Konasana, just open your knees, and if you can, bring your feet together, bring your soles of your feet and see them. Baddha Konasana. Just breathe here for a little while. We're going to be in this pose for a few seconds. Close your eyes and breathe into this pose. We don't usually open our inner thigh muscles as much. We have them usually always joined together, but they need a stretch. Breathe into it. If there's any pain, you can stop and bring it back. Otherwise, just breathe into it. Then, bringing the soles back on the feet, you can bring your knees back together and then do it again. Breathe into it. Breathe into the stretch. And you can do another movement which kind of stretches the other way. I always like to do things where I do opposing movements. So now you can bring your knees inside and put your feet out in this fashion. It's a little bit harder to do, but it's easier on a couch or a chair. It's really hard to do it when you're sitting on the floor. And you can bring it up and back again, bringing your knees together and feet out. Now you can keep your feet on the ground and turned outward. So your legs are open and your hands are on the inner aspects of your knee. And breathe now. All different muscles you exercise when you do things a little bit differently. The important thing is to do it slowly and breathe into all the stiffness and pain you may be experiencing, and doing it only as much as you possibly can, and stopping when you can't. Now, pick your heels up, just toes on the ground. Then slowly bring your heels down. Bring your heels up and bring your heels. Exercising small muscles in your inner thighs, legs, feet. Just a small movement. You know that a very small muscle in our buttocks causes all that pain of sciatica. So we are going to do this. Everybody asks me every time about this thing. So we are going to do this pose. This is the figure of four pose, where we bring the right foot not on the knee, but slightly above the knee. Place it like that, and then use the right hand to push on the right knee to open it up. This is a great stretch for your hip joint. And if you're ever going to sit, women always sit like this. I always tell them sit like this. It's so good for your hip joint, much better. But don't put your foot on top of your knee. That's going to injure your knee. Pushing, breathing into it is a great stretch. You can also just move your foot in this manner, keeping it taut, moving your toes up, and then bringing it down. Then doing the other side. Using the left hand now to push on the inner aspect of your knee joint. And then stretching out this foot in this fashion. And you can feel a muscle in your buttocks just light up with this movement. And the more you push on it, and the more your knee pushes back up on your hand, you're going to feel that muscle stretch inside your buttock. You can do this lying down, or you can do this sitting up, and it will give you lots of benefits. You can even do this standing up for balance if you are so able to do. So this is the figure of 4 stretch that's going to be very helpful for you. Now we are going to do quintessential yoga poses, which is the warrior poses. So bringing your right leg out and left leg in. You can do this on your chair or on your couch. Bring your arms up in this fashion, 180 degrees. Look both sides. This is a warrior's pose. Be in this position, even though it's hard. Keep arms up for so long. Just breathe into it. And then bring your right arm up. This is reverse warrior. Peaceful warrior. And bring it back up in the same. And then bring right arm to the right knee and bring left arm up. Pulling and stretching left side. And then bring it down. Now we can do the same movement on the other side. We always mirror it. We don't want to have unequal bodies. One of the reasons why we have so many problems is we tend to use our right hand more than our left hand. And then our left hand is a little weak, but not when we are exercising. We want to use both our arms. Breathe in, breathe out. And bring right arm down, left arm up. Pushing it back. And then neutral. Holding it. And then bringing left arm to left knee. And then stretching. Feeling the stretch on the right side of the body. Just enjoying the stretch. Bringing it to neutral. And then center. So this was a great warrior pose. And we can do a little balance exercise where we just put our right foot up as much as you can and holding the toes towards the body. Just hold it in that pose. And everything else well aligned and bringing it down. Then doing the same on the other leg. holding it, breathing into it, and then bringing it back. So do these small yogic poses, every day for a little while, even if you're on the chair, and you'll feel great stretch. We can do one more if you're able to do. It's more difficult. You can take your hands, you can clasp them in the back, and then open your heart up. And when you're clasping in the back, on the side, so you can, and then pulling both shoulder blades in and holding it up. And looking up, not pulling eyebrows up, just looking up. If you want to rest your hand on the back of your chair or your couch, that's okay. If you don't want to, that's going to be a better stretch, but it's up to you. So this is going to open your intercostal muscles, your chest, and then you can bring it back. Your breath. This is going to be really good for opening up this. We are always hunched. We need to open up our chest. So this exercise helps to open the chest, and it also helps pull our scapula, which is very difficult to exercise sometimes. In this fashion, we are able to pull it out and back. So with those sorts of exercises and the yogic practice we did today, I will end this session and take questions. Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. This is Z from Yonkers Public Library. Thanks so much to Sally Pinto and Alexis and Barbara from Newark. Thank you to our community partners, WJCS, the City of Yonkers Office for the Aging, Westchester County Legislator Ruth Walter, Friends of Crestwood Library, and Yonkers Public Library for making this phenomenal partnership. And we thank each and every one of you for being part of our wellness community. Be well, stay well.